Have you heard about the Coco Wyo controversy, and will you still keep buying their coloring books after you hear this story? Now, according to Bookseller.com, a Vietnamese artist collective called Coco Wyo signed a six-figure publishing deal with Penguin Random House Publishing, a huge publishing company. Coco Wyo started publishing their new style of coloring books in November of 2024 and in early December of 2024 as well. Now, Fenella Bates, who is the nonfiction publisher for Penguin Random House, said, "We are over the moon to have agreed with this deal with Coco Wyo, who at the time had 2 Amazon 100 bestsellers in the UK and 5 bestsellers on the Amazon Top 100 list in the US. Now that with the power of color talk on TikTok allowed the coloring books for Coco Wyo to blow up. Now some other coloring books have also been getting very popular on Color Talk in the past. One of those artists is Megan Miles Art. Now, she has been making coloring books for years, and her first coloring book came out in September of 2023 from what I could see on Goodreads, and it was this ocean coloring book. Now, this is a very cute coloring book, and then she moved on to her more famous style of coloring books, which is this more thicker lined coloring book that you see. Now, this was almost a year before Coco Wyo came out with their coloring book. From what I could see on Goodreads, Coco Wyo came out with their first coloring book in September of 2022, and it was called Life in a Jar, but it is still very cute and it is adorable. Like, I really do like the style of this. Now, if you were to go to Amazon and search for Megan Miles Art, you would not be able to distinguish the difference between the two. And it's really sad to see something like that happen to an artist. Now, the other artist that they talk about Coco Wyo may be having some inspiration from is Bobby Goods. Now, Bobby Goods creates coloring books that have very adorable little animals in them. Now, I don't have a Bobby Goods coloring book. I do have one on the way, but I do have a coloring sheet that I paid to have printed out from their website. And this is what it looks like. It has adorable little animals on it. As we can see, there's dogs and bears. All right, I found one that's pretty similar. So this one that we see is a Coco Wyo coloring book. And this has 2 little animals at the gym. Now, this little animal kind of looks like a golden doodle and a mouse, and kind of looks very similar to the ones that we see on this. And you would almost think that these are from the same coloring book with the way that they look, but they're not. I am not claiming anybody stole anything from anybody, but it does seem like there are some strong inspirations happening from both Megan Miles Art and from Bobby Goods. Now, this controversy goes a little bit deeper, but I don't have the time to explain this on TikTok, so maybe I'll make a full-length video for YouTube explaining the full in-depth details. Will you still keep buying Coco Wyo coloring books after you hear this story?